Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dreading Hour. Today, I have kidnapped Gibby and Candy Bunny, and they are in my basement. Say hello.
Please help us. There's Nightmare Gas or Illusions Disc. It's really ambiguous.
Possibly also just dreaming.
Yeah, I meant to get Rory, but I couldn't find him, so...
Is that who the old guy in the closet was? He kept saying, I'm 10 years old, but he sounded like an old man.
Yeah, that was him. Precisely.
Okay.
It's like, I'm gonna go to school, but he's like 70. So anyway, Scott Cawthon has been bequeathing us with many a teaser the last couple months. Now, actually, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but you idiots posted it in our group chat, so we're going to start with the fake scripts.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's not good.
Okay, so you started posting them, Candy Bunny, so you wanna lead us on this one?
I would not like to lead us on this one.
No.
As Gibby knows, I posted them because I hadn't read them before today, and I still only read the first one.
Gibby,
so...
Gibby, talk about...
Okay.
Well, I'm assuming the one we all think is the real one is the one where they go down into the...
See, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, into
Okay,
this carousel or whatever. All right, you go ahead.
Because Matt Pat said that, and Matt Pat's always correct. Okay, so 10th anniversary of FNaF. Mr. Scotty Cawthon releases 4 pages of the FNaF 2 movie script. By which I mean, he releases 1 page of the FNaF 2 movie script, along with 3 fake pages. So of the 4 images that we have, 3 of them are fake, 1 of them is real. And so obviously the questions from the community were like, which is the real one? Which are the fake ones? Haha, maybe we'll learn something. And the joke is that even if one of them is real, it still doesn't really tell us much about the movie, except for the one that's obviously a joke about the U.S. military using animatronics.
It's
to
not a joke. That one's real.
Hey, Return to the Pit. Oswald gets shot by a U.S. Army vet, so you know it's possible.
I'm telling you.
So
we're getting haunted tanks.
Yes, haunted tanks and suits of armor. And swords, a sword gun, a ghost gun. So Matt Pat made a theory, or not Matt Pat, I'm sorry, Game Theory. Who is it? Lee? Lee does a film theory?
Film theory, I think it's Lee, yeah.
Yeah, he made a video going over which one he thinks is the real one. So I guess we should go through the 4 pages, and T-Dreads, you can use your narrator voice. We'll go through them. And,
I don't have one of those. Now I'm blushing.
You don't have an epic narrator voice?
All right, which one do I
start? Narrator voice? Did you just mean T-Dread's voice?
I wake up and I'm like, time to get my coffee. I go to the McDonald's drive-thru. I'm like, I will take 3 Big Macs. I'm on a diet, so no more 4 Big Macs for me.
That's how you sound when you're in class, like asking the teacher questions. You sound like you're presenting a YouTube video essay.
I need to take a piss. Can I please go?
You say this. You say this, but this is unironically like how you sound to me.
Wow. Fuck you guys.
Okay, so going in, I guess. So me and you, we disagree on which is the real one, and Candy doesn't have an opinion. So let's see if
I'll
we'll
be the unbiased judge.
I can start. I can start with the carousel one.
All right, yeah. Start with the order that we haven't posted here.
All right.
I'll be Darren.
Right. You'll be Darren.
I'll be Darren.
Oh, Darren. Darren's just spelled really weird. Okay, I'll be the mysterious. I'll be Man.
Okay.
And the narrator. All right. I'm not going to read the stage direction because I'm going to be a terrible narrator. But all right, let's go. The man.
Wait, hold on. I need to read the stage direction then.
Oh God. Okay, fine. Whatever. Interior of an abandoned Freddy's Pizzeria and Theater. Dining room. The man and the kids step into a large dining room. Dust-shrouded tables and chairs crowd the room, encircling a motionless carousel sitting in a hulking shadow. The man leads the kids up to the carousel. He steps up onto it, helping Gemma up after him. Darren looks bemused, but hops at hope. He hops up as well. The man reaches for big red button. Slaps the button. The carousel buzzes, lights up, starts to turn, and tinny music plays. Gemma claps her hands, eyes sparkling. She looks at the carousel's animal. The carousel's characters, a brown bear, a blue bunny, a yellow chick, a pirate fox, a gator, Secret of the Mimic, a wolf, and a hippo, are all brightly colored. They're cartoonish and over the top.
A bunny!
Making a scoffing gesture at the blue bunny. This is fake.
Pouting. I want the bunny, Daddy.
We're not here for a ride, sweetie. The man takes Gemma's hand. He leads her to the center of the carousel, and Darren follows. A doorway is set into the hub of the carousel, because of course it is. The man opens it. Beyond the door, a circular staircase descends into darkness, because of course it does. I'll go first. Hang on to the railing and stay close. The man starts down the staircase. He checks to be sure his kids are following. They are.
The end.
Dramatic.
So I think an important piece of context is that this is labeled as page 4.
Well, what
Yeah,
was,
I think that
what
is
was the
important.
shot before this? Because that's 3 pages is not enough for a cold open. This would still be the cold open.
Yeah, I think that, there might be, I'm not entirely sure how Hollywood scripts would work, but like page 1 might be like the title page, and then page 2 would be like, here's the directors, and then page 3 might be like, Five Nights at Freddy's, starring Mr. Fazbear himself. Page 4,
3 is
Interior Abandoned Freddy's. I think Lee's argument.
Patrick.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. go ahead.
He's obviously I got whole thoughts about that, because I would love if Matt Pat was in all the movies, but then I don't want them to have to continue to write Ness the waiter into these movies unnaturally, so I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I think Lee's argument was that this feels like a cold open, and it happens 4 pages in, and it makes sense that we don't know who these characters are. It's possible, I don't know if he said this, but it's possible that Man is Henry, and so Gemma and Darren are like Charlie and Sammy. Who knows what's going on?
What if Man is Markiplier? Hear me out.
Are these his children? Did he steal these children?
He stole. Hello, everybody.
My name is Man here.
My name is Man.
So what's your reasoning for thinking? I guess without seeing the other 3, it's hard to really judge them against each other. But why do you think this is the most likely to be real?
Okay, well, I didn't even see the Lee video.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get canceled for that. But I think, let's see, the Toy Chica one that comes after this sounds like it was written by an 8-year-old. The other one I like is the Velveteen Rabbit one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one a lot. This one, though, I feel like it gives the least away, and it's at the point in the script that I feel makes the most sense. And I'm quite confident it's not secret military robot Afton robotics shenanigans.
Yeah, let's watch it be that one, though. I think if that was in the movie and I was Scott, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, that better not be in the movie, bro. They need to take Scott out of the writer's room if that's in this movie.
He's like, people thought the first one wasn't scary enough, so I'm here to fix it up, make exactly what the community wants. I see all these memes about haunted tanks and the army. Let's just throw them in there. It's one of the oldest FNaF theories.
My only problem with this is that, this Gemma and Darren, these 2 kids, would have to become recurring characters, whereas Man does not. Man doesn't need to be a recurring character. Because here's the thing, right? Even if it was Henry and that wasn't revealed till later, I'm pretty sure they would still call it Henry in the script because it's a fucking script. I'm pretty sure it's
probably not in the one that they release for us for the teaser.
Well, then it's a lie. Then he's a liar.
Lying, exactly.
Yeah. That's not the real script.
What's the point of releasing? Yeah. I agree.
That's like if they changed Gemma and Darren's names to like Tom and
Charlie and
Susie.
Sammy.
Oh my god.
Is Tom Susie's secret third Susie 3Z theory?
I think Man dies on page 6.
Yeah, I think Man certainly dies because he's called Man. So if this is the real script, it's like these 2 children watch their father get grievously murdered.
It's like Guy from
Spy Kids.
Galaxy Quest.
Oh. It's not what I thought.
He's the one who's convinced he's going to die because he doesn't have a name. He's just called Guy.
Oh no.
There's a red shirt. Yeah.
But that is the one problem I have with it, is that would mean that these would have to be recurring characters. Gemma and Darren would have to show up again later in the movie because they're named. kind of no point in kind of just introducing these two characters and then never following up on them.
Yeah, maybe they're the kids that Mike has to save, or maybe this isn't even the real one, because I think that a later one is the real one. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Chat, let us know what you think in the comments below. I'm farming engagement.
All right.
Make sure that you subscribe and like T-Dread's videos.
All of them, or I'll kill you.
All right, let me see.
We're only 400 likes away from him having to make a security breach live stream.
That's true. That's true. We are very close. That other video, but also don't leave the video now. Gibby, you're murdering my retention. Please stay.
Open it in another window. Just open 17 windows, each of them with a different T-Dreads video. Have them all playing simultaneously.
At 0.25 times speed.
Yes.
So I sound like a chipmunk.
No, 0.25.
You're even deeper.
Hello, guys. All right. Let's do the Toy Chico one that was written by a 12-year-old.
Yes, page 25 of the script now.
So this is a fucking sham. Page 25 is still be Act 1. They are not going to be... They are not going to be in this far into the plot, 25 pages into the script. There's like 4 lines of dialogue per page. You're telling me this happens like 10 minutes into the movie?
Yeah, like not even.
Yeah. All right. She looks up at Toy Chica, confused, and Toy Chica slowly puts her hand on Abby's head. Interior, original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza storage room, same time. Vanessa watches the monitor through pained breaths. On the screen, Toy Chica's hand strokes Abby's head, and Toy Chica's head turns slowly to look back at the camera. At Vanessa. Dun, 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 dun. Vanessa is squeezed tighter. She cries out in pain. Who's Vanessa?
Yeah, who's reading who?
I'll be Vanessa. I'm a good Vanessa.
Okay.
And then Ken, you have to be like Abby and Toy Chica.
Okay, bet.
Okay, please just don't hurt her.
The grip loosens, and Vanessa watches Toy Chica look back at the computer.
4AD7X.
Interior, original Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria office, same time. Toy Chica relays Vanessa's code, culminating in
CD1.
Abby enters and looks back up.
What now? You won't get tired of my voice, will you? Hit enter.
Abby's finger dangles above the enter key. She looks up at the animatronic for approval. Toy Chica nods and Abby presses. Click. Toy Chica's eyes light up.
You did it, Abby. We're free.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
This sucks. Also, CT1 is the thing you use to skip a night, right? Isn't that a reference? Or is that CD plus? That might be CD plus.
I'm not sure, but I do know what you're talking about.
Let me know if I'm hallucinating, chat.
I don't know why, but like 4AD7 just looks like it's trying to spell something.
Was that the 4 of AD7?
Am I stupid? Am I dumb?
Oh,
Chat, am I stupid?
FNaF 4 with the AD7 and X. Because X marks the spot, like pirates. So it's saying that Foxy did the bite of 87. Oh my god, it's so obvious.
That's it in the movie.
Yeah, that's our secret key. No, in real life. So yeah, that script sucks. Also, it would have to happen 10 minutes into the movie for this to happen.
Yeah.
Which means Vanessa
genuinely
gets out of the hospital and they introduce all the animatronics, and this is,
Hold Open could just be literally they're already in the FNaF 2 location running around. The toys are chasing them, right? It could be like in media res.
Let's go.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, you did it. We're free. And then the logo pops up and then it's like 6 months earlier. And I hope the movie, for the love of Fazbear, does not do that.
The screen cuts to black and white, and Mike goes, "So, I bet you're wondering how I got myself in this situation."
Record scratch, yeah.
Classic, like, rock music. It all started back in 1987. All right, sorry. Okay,
now for the real one.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
this
true.
Is the one that
real.
I think. This is the one that I think is also likely to be legitimate. All right, I'll be Mike. And then
I'll be Vanessa.
Okay, and then you could be Abby. All right, here we go. Why would someone write something like that for little kids?
You remember how the little boy in it has all these plushies he loves, but then he gets sick with one of those diseases kids don't get much anymore.
Yeah, he gets scarlet fever.
Yeah, he's so sick he might die. And he's contagious, and so is everything he's touched. So they have to burn all his plushies because they're dangerous.
Mike, with a look of dawning understanding. Yeah, I remember the story. What are you saying, Abs?
I'm saying these plushies are dangerous too. Somebody should burn them.
Interior/exterior, Mike's car, nighttime.
Mike is parked at a gas station. He takes out his phone and dials Vanessa.
Hello.
Hey, are you working tonight?
No, I.
Then I'll be over in half an hour. Wear dark clothing. We've got a job to do.
Sure.
Mike hangs up and gets out of the car. He is dressed entirely in black. Okay,
Why would he say? Why would he say I'll be over in half an hour and then he gets out of the car?
Mm.
Maybe he's picking up fire supplies.
Wait, hello, I work tonight. That's strange. Also, maybe this is a problem.
Oh, he's at a gas station.
He takes out his phone.
Oh, you're right.
He takes out his phone. Shouldn't he not have a cellular during this time?
Well, it doesn't say that there's gas being pumped into the car.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about having a cell phone in 2000.
Oh no, there are cell phones in like 2004-ish.
He's got a
Like
BlackBerry. It was $400 in 2000 something. I did.
Oh yeah, you looked at all the.
We'll use this to kill Springtrap.
I never shut up
Beats
these
him over the
days
head
about
with the BlackBerry.
old phones. Blackberries were cool. They were cheap. They should be $400 again.
That's funny to think of.
my
Mike
gosh.
like epically gets out of the car. He's just filling it up like. Da-da-da-da. So
yeah,
why would we be burning plushies then?
Well, there aren't really
They're
any.
Bitty Babs.
No.
Oh, what if there's like little circus babies? Oh no.
I'm thinking maybe they're like, okay, I mean, we don't even really know what the story's about, but like it's a new Freddy's, right? Freddy's 2 with the toys is opening contemporarily with the movie, right? It's like, hey guys, new Freddy's, come to Freddy's, it's new.
Redfest or whatever it's called. I remember from Dawkos. Dawkos videos.
Is that the photos on the door of the old location?
The flyers, yeah. They're the flyers on the door of the old location.
So they're probably like, oh no, what if these plushes are haunted? We got to stop them before they get distributed to all the kids at the big carnival coming up. We got to burn them.
Oh, Mike's like, wait a second. These plushes have agony. Oh no. That's exactly the conversation that'll take place.
Agony is like scarlet fever. I get it.
We have to burn them. Have either of you...
Guys, it's just like the real Jake. All right, I'm sorry.
Have either of you read The Velveteen Rabbit?
I can't say I have.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm holding it right now.
Whoa.
Summarize
Physical copies of books don't exist anymore.
Give me reasons why. Give me parallels. Parallels. Give me them.
So many parallels. So this leaked, quote unquote, leaked script is not the first time that FNaF has mentioned the Velveteen Rabbit. It's been mentioned once before in the greatest story ever written.
In the flesh.
In the Flesh.
Oh my gosh, that's the best book on the earth.
The best book on the earth.
Tolkien look like a worm.
Look like a worm. At the end of the story, when MatPat gives birth to Springtrap, he stares at the little like.
I like how we could just say that. I'm sorry.
If you're this deep into a FNaF like little podcast going over the teasers, you know what I'm talking about.
All right. Go ahead.
Actually, do I have where's In the Flesh? It's right here. It's like the last page. Ahem. The blood loss was making Matt fade in and out of consciousness. Again, this is right after he's stabbed himself in the stomach and like C-sectioned his own Springtrap.
Good stuff.
But even in his addled state, he could see the creature he had spawned was Springtrap, but somehow not Springtrap. This one was realer, more organic than the one in the video game. Matt's mind drifted back to a story his mom had read him when he was little about a stuffed toy rabbit that had wished so hard to be real that it became real. So that's the Velveteen Rabbit. And so, because I'm currently making a video about it in the flesh, I read The Velveteen Rabbit to see the parallels to the story about MatPat's Mpreg.
Oh my God, first
And
scoop. Let's go.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff in there about like love is what bring things to life, and memory, and like children loving toys, and now they're real. Basically, there's a little rabbit, and the boy loves the little rabbit, and the little rabbit loves the boy, and the little boy plays with the rabbit outside, and then some real rabbits hop up and are like, "You're not a real rabbit." And he's like, "But I am a real rabbit because a child loves me." And they're like, "You can't even move, and you don't have back legs."
No.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sad now because I'm not good enough."
We are
And
entering,
then the boy gets sick.
we are entering dangerous imaginary plush propaganda territory.
The FNaF 4, Psychic Friend Fredbear is a Velveteen Rabbit. So the boy gets sick, and the rabbit's like, "I'm doing such a good job being there for the boy. He's so sick, and like none of the humans are coming to talk to him anymore, but he still loves me because I'm his little plush rabbit." And then the boy, the adults come, and they're like, "Boy, you're gonna go to the ocean. You're gonna go stand in the ocean for a couple weeks." For fresh air. And the rabbit's like, "I'm so happy that like we're gonna go get to see the ocean. This is amazing." And then like they take the boy outside, and the rabbit's like, "I wonder when they're gonna come back for me to bring me to the ocean." And then the doctor walks in with the mother and is like, "Okay, so we gotta get the boy out of the house. He's gonna go to the ocean, and we gotta burn all of his toys because they all got the scarlet fever in them." So they grab the bunny and all of his books and all of his toys, and they shove him in a bag, and they take it out back to be burned. And so the toy rabbit is just staring at like the bonfire that's going to kill him. And he's like, "Oh no, but I thought I did such a good job. I thought I was a real rabbit." And then he cries a real tear, and the tear hits the ground.
Huge.
And then from there, a flower grows.
No.
Like Psychic Friend Fredbear's head in a flower in FNaF 4. A flower grows, and the petals open, and a fairy comes out.
That sounds
And the-
unbelievably good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little fairy girl comes out and says, "Hey, I'm the fairy that makes little children's toys real when they're done with them.
Pinocchio.
And you're such a good real toy that I'm going to take you away." And so she gives him a kiss, and so now he is a real rabbit. And she picks him up and she brings him to the other real rabbits. And so then it cuts forward a couple months. The boy's back. He's hanging out in his own backyard. He's free of the scarlet fever. And the Velveteen Rabbit hops up looking like a real rabbit. And the boy's like, "Hey, that real rabbit looks like that toy I used to have." And then it's because it is him.
I love
And the
this book for a
moral-
child.
The moral of the story is, hey, little kiddos, I know that we have to throw away all of your toys because we're poor and it's 1922 and the Great Depression's coming. But don't worry, they're not in a landfill or on fire. They're actually just real rabbits now. And that's the moral of the story.
I love that book as a
That's
child.
beautiful.
Makes me want to cry a single tear.
So according to that, in this script, that would mean that somebody was associated with
From Bunny, yes.
that's not what I said, but that's what you said. Somebody was associated with these plushies that makes them contaminated or dirty in a way. Correct?
And was sick.
Well, that might be reading too much into it.
Agony, agony could just be like the illness, right? Like, why are they evil? Because children loved them, right? And then something bad happened to the kids. Or it's just like, the agony of the MCI, or the agony, if there's going to be a DCI, I guess we'll see in the movie. But like these not rabbits, these toys, one of them's a rabbit, Bonnie's a rabbit. These plushes have the stains, the disease of some terrible event on them.
Yeah.
And so now, the agony of the remnant or whatever is making them bad the way that scarlet fever is bad. And so they need to be burned.
And maybe that's why the plush babies are like on your toes in ruin, is because they're not actually possessed themselves, but it's just that kind of agony situation where it's like negative emotion manifests itself around those areas. Do we have to read the last one?
Yes. Oh my God, it's the best one.
Oh, this one was on page 58.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, this is the one that I think is probably real. Still first act, still like setting up the whatever. So I think that's my bet. That's where I'm putting my money. But yeah, the last one, the best one, page 18.
I'll be Captain Nelson. Gibby, you be General Everly.
General Everly. Can't even say my own name, but okay. Okay. You ready?
Go for it.
I never liked this project from the get-go. What the kind of idea was it for the U.S. Army to get in bed with a pizza place?
Fazbear Entertainment is more than just a pizza place, sir.
Waving a hand. Yeah, they're a circus. That's what they are. I still can't believe the government funded the company.
The man and women at the table exchange glances. They're obviously a little surprised to hear their commanding officer expressing so many objections to their project.
Who ever heard of testing government-financed tech on robots designed to entertain kids? Shaking his head. You ask me, Drummond let his sentimentality get the best of him, just because his kid liked those robot animals.
Fazbear Entertainment's animatronic tech was way ahead of any robotics that... You can do stage direction this time.
General Everly snaps forward. He picks up the report and slaps it back down again. But we're not talking about robotics now, are we? Thumping at the reports. This here says nothing about robotics. It's all about vortices and wave functions and... The general opens his report. He flips pages and frowns at the one he lands on. Observable effects of unobservable energy exchanges. Lifting his gaze. Cut. That's it. Oh no.
Remnant.
Remnant? Yeah, so that one's clearly a joke.
Yeah, I
Unless.
hope so.
Unless.
I could see Scott introducing circus babies at the end of this movie. That is if we're really doing a trilogy and he's not like gonna make a spin-off series for Sister, you know, so he could go either way. Yeah, though this feels like a joke though to me.
Yes, clearly a joke. All right, so now that you've heard all four of them, Candy Bunny, what's your vote for which one you think is real?
Well, you're right. I think 1 and 3, are the best ones. Actually, I don't know. I think it's probably 1. I don't. Not that everyone always writes good dialogue, but I don't like Abby's dialogue in the Velveteen Rabbit one. Like, who? I don't know. It's a weird logical argument. Maybe it makes more sense in context. But
she's like 8.
How'd she go from the? Yeah, well,
she's like 10 now.
How does she go from? There's a story about a kid who gets sick and then he has to burn his plushie because it has scarlet fever on it. And then she's like, these plushies are dangerous too. We need to burn them. I don't know. Maybe.
There's probably context we didn't get before that, but
her actress is great. She could maybe pull it off.
The sick boy is William, and he touched him, like in The Man in Room 1280. Like in The Man in Room 1280, he explodes his agony all over the toys.
I exploded all over these plushies, Mike. Don't take that out of context, Mike.
What?
Moving on.
So those were technically from last year, but that is really all we have for the movie, besides the teaser poster.
I mean, we have the Dawko.
Images.
We have the Dawko images too.
The teaser poster.
And
Toy
all
Freddy.
of the cool building of the animatronic photos that are very cool.
Yeah.
I won't do all that. I will do Toy Freddy though. Does he have blue eyes in the game?
I think so.
Time to look it up.
My God, are they shiny? They look like they've been polished.
Yes, he has blue eyes in the game.
All right. Yeah, on the polishing thing, yeah, we are definitely going to see them in use, the toys, like in prime time. And more onto that is this, what I'm showing on screen right now. You guys can't see it because you're on a call with me, haha. But the first Dawko teaser that Scott gave out on his charity stream for the movie was a fixed version of the interior of the FNaF 2 pizzeria floor, which is Toy Freddy's face surrounded by 4 stars on a white, black, and blue checkerboard floor. Which says to me...
like a table.
Yeah, which says to me that we are going to be getting flashback scenes to when this was operative. Which is supported... Flashback scenes as a concept is supported later as well.
You don't think that FNaF 2, the location's opening during the course of the movie? You think that it's something that needs to exist?
Because if you look in Dawko's I toured the set, this same Freddy thing is there, but it's decrepit.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Makes
building
sense.
does look pretty. It's got like Spanish moss all over
Yeah,
it.
and
vines
when he
stuff.
goes in it in the video, this Freddy tile is on the floor, but it's all like mossy and the paint is chipped.
Okay, so flashback to the heyday of FNaF
Of
2.
FNaF 2. So we might even get to see for the first time ever the Bite of 87. And oh, dude, what if it happens and then Markiplier cameos and he goes, was that the Bite of 87?
Or Mark, he's like another cop that like Vanessa knows, and they're looking over old tapes, and they find security cameras from the FNaF 2 location, and they watch the bite happen on camera to keep it PG-13. And he goes, "Was that the bite of 87?"
No,
I think I would lose it.
But like he stares agape at the CCTV for like 10 full seconds before saying it. On 3, 1, 2. Yeah, so not much to comment on with this one because it was the first one.
Stars have been a very common motif for FNaF.
That's why
All I have to say.
Yeah, that is very weird. I remember talking to Cry and I'd like Lefty. It's Lefty. It's the rock star.
But stars have been around since the first game. They're in the West Hall. And they're all over all the time. They're all over the survival logbook. I was counting them all recently.
And on the menus, when you beat all the
you
challenges,
get stars.
Boom, mind blown.
Could be like a sun and moon kind of thing. Like that imagery's been there since, Murray Costume Manor.
Did you guys ever have the glowy stars that you could tape on your ceiling or your wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Why
I
would
had
you miss
some
that?
left over in my dorm room.
Stars, like Saturn was always a good one. Shooting star.
There's a regular stars, lame-o regular stars.
All right, next up.
All right, the fun
Tom
one.
Riddle's diary.
The video the image I made a 10-minute video on rambling about nothing while talking to you.
Mhm.
Southeast 101.
I didn't understand that reference.
In the corner it says SE101 and people wonder what it means.
Oh, okay. It could be Scene 101, but I don't know who elaborates Scene as SE.
Well, no, that's written on the front of someone's notebook in the shot.
With the balloon drawings.
Oh, like a kid's notebook. Okay.
Yeah, like a school notebook. So, what did you just say you thought it was?
I said it's Tom Riddle's diary.
No, I think she said Southeast.
Oh,
I said Southeast.
Yeah.
Or what were the other ones? There was software engineering, structural engineering,
This
Southeast.
looks like it's a child's notebook, so I don't think it's anything complex.
Not a lot of subjects that sounds like SE, but you also don't usually call things 101 for a child.
Yeah, so people were thinking like, oh, it's probably Mike is taking like community college courses, and like Abby drew on the back of his binder. So it could be like secondary education, civil serviceable engineering.
These things are connected though. I think that's a manila envelope underneath, and this is the front cover of a lime green.
Damn, Mike's taking a 101 course at like
That's
27. He's washed up.
I thought, my genius idea was clearly Silver Eyes page 101.
Oh yeah.
That was my theory.
Okay.
And I went and I got out the book and I found it.
Oh no.
And
gonna say absolutely nothing.
It's gonna say no. It solves the lore. Okay. You obviously don't watch my Twitter account because I solved the entire movie. Silver Eyes page 101. You have John is reminiscing about the day that Mike, their friend who died in the MCI in that continuity, died.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there and he's talking to Charlie and she's like, I didn't know what I saw. It was all chaos. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about making the connection. It was just another animal at Freddy's. I didn't think about what might have been inside it. I was a kid, And they're talking about seeing Springtrap inside Freddy's the day of the MCI. So, I think that this clearly means that Mike is taking a class where he's trying to learn about how to see
dream theory.
No. In reality, I have nothing.
Me neither.
I'm excited to see if he keeps popping perks at work.
It bothered me so much when Vanessa threw them into the water. I don't know, man. He had a prescription. He was getting them from a pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think personally that software engineering is most likely. I don't know. It feels on theme. We have a lot of like
also
roboticists.
Charlie in the book. So I just reread, unfortunately, God rest my soul, I reread the Twisted Ones and the Fourth Closet recently. Not the Silver Eyes. I actually skipped over that one because I actually remembered it because it wasn't a terrible book. The other ones I read, wasn't having a fun time. But yeah, Charlie is an expert in like, not an expert, but she's trying to learn.
She's
about,
in class, yeah.
Yeah, robotics and stuff like that. And part of that is like software engineering. So making programs and all that.
Do we think that the thing, so the red balloon that I would say would be on the left, is that a butterfly flying off the balloon? Or those stars? Or those like when you try to draw little patches on something to indicate it's shiny?
I think
what
the
are those
balloons
things on
are
the balloons?
oiled up.
Mm-hmm.
As you do.
That is a good question because that's not normally at all. You like, why would you color them in if you were denoting?
Yeah.
But they sure look like balloons.
Sure.
Confetti, maybe.
I'm sure Balloon Boy's
Five
holding
things. 5 things. One of them separate. I don't know.
them. No, not the special Golden Freddy balloon.
The special Golden Freddy butterfly who's not on the balloon.
Although I don't know, maybe they aren't balloons and they're like upside down earmuffs or something like that, and you just can't see where they connect.
Or they're dealy bobbers.
Oh yeah, dealy bobbers. Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me tell you about this. Here's what this little fast talker thing is. Okay.
Okay.
You open
the thing in the center of the frame that we haven't talked about.
Skirting around.
That's because everyone's been talking about it already.
We open it, and inside there's a miniature keyboard that we can use to type a special message, and then Freddy will answer us. Maybe. And then
I agree.
It's possessed by spirit or spirits unknown, and it's going to be the same thing in Tom Riddle's diary where Gabby's like, or not Gabby, I'm actually a fraud. Abby's typing into it the whole movie. And over time, it starts being like giving like complex answers. Like in the beginning, it'll just be like, "Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear." But then, like as it keeps going,
no, do it in the gamer voice. Come on, man.
"Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear."
There we go.
But as it continues, it'll be like, "Back in 1983, I got bit." And so it'll basically be like talking to Abby as a ghost. So a ghost or ghosts are going to be talking through this. I know some people said it's the puppet. I think it's going to be Garrett because I think it's going to be Garrett talking through it because you get a text to speech voice in the credits of the first movie. That's like, "Come find me." And I think that's this thing. But hey.
So that'd be this thing, but not the puppet. You don't think Garrett's the puppet?
There was leaks that said, but I don't know. You can never trust leaks.
Yeah.
I think it would make sense for Garrett to be the puppet. What, you think it's the Golden Freddy kid? Or do you think it's a trap by William?
No, I do think that Garrett's the puppet. I just don't know. I'm not like convinced on like who would be in this little fast talker. I'm very interested in the yellow buttons at the top.
I think that's the code you put in to open it.
Like a diary thing. Like you gotta press the buttons in order. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the black dial is volume.
Yes. Which means that it does open.
To a miniature keyboard that we can use to contact. It's either the puppet or Golden Freddy. Scott doesn't give a fuck about the main 4 animatronics. He don't give a shit. It's either the puppet or Golden Freddy.
Sometimes he cares about Susie.
Susie, come on.
Love Susie.
Yeah, Susie's talking to the toy Freddy. Yeah, surely. I think it'll be the puppet or Golden Freddy.
My prediction is either going to blink or wink at us at some point in the movie.
Or its jaw will close or something. I think there's alternative possibility. The movie wants you to think it's a spirit talking to Abby, and he's like, "You should come to Freddy's. Sneak out past your brother." And you're like, "Oh no, the spirit is getting Abby again, just like in the first movie."
It's a trap.
And then she gets there, and it is just kind of like a more advanced walkie-talkie. There's a person on the other end, and it's Man, who is Henry.
Yo, better.
Cool.
I think it's the field.
Oh no.
Because I like calling things the field.
It's just random numbers.
William
I could also see it being a trap. Like I could also see it being a trap or a way that William would have lured a kid. Like some kids just hanging out, and it's like, come to the back room or some crazy shit. But I think it's
Unlock
more likely.
the door.
I think it's more likely to be something that Mike and Abby just find at the new pizzeria, and it has like a kid's soul entered inside of it.
Entered.
Or it's a real Jake situation. So it could be like both.
Yeah, because Scott really likes to reuse ideas. That bro is a idea shill for himself. He just
Comes up with 10 ideas, just keeps reusing
keeps
them
reusing
in different
them.
ways.
Dual
It's
possession.
like William Afton.
Robot
Well,
piercing.
Recycling that remnant.
New ideas are overrated. It's all about executing them in writing, and Scott is such a great writer. So
Sure, he's the greatest writer on earth.
the greatest
Yeah,
writer
you know
on
it.
earth.
Writer on earth.
I love this teaser. I love this image, and I love this thing that they've built. I owned one of these 100% for sure, and it's my favorite of all the things that we've seen from the movie.
Do you
That's
think
what I know
he'll...
what the fuck it is.
Well, it's a fast talker.
Yeah, but
it
like,
just doesn't
what a
mean
weird
anything.
thing. What a weird thing to put in your movie. All right.
What if it like doesn't do anything much at all? Like, what if it's just like the shot at the end of the movie, and it's just somebody saying "you there," and it's actually a teaser for the next movie?
Yeah, what if the reason they gave it to us as a teaser is because it's literally meaningless?
it could literally just be a Faz talker, and that's how Mike and Vanessa communicate with each other. They text through this little fucking Freddy face.
Picto chat.
Yeah. All right, Afton stairs.
Okay, Afton stairs.
New theory. Afton. All right, what the hell is going on? So is this
A woman breaks into the house, brings with her a giant camera, says, Vanessa, I need to tell you about this commercial opportunity
But she's also
before your father comes home.
she also has very pronounced hand gestures.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think this scene is happening inside Vanessa's coma. I think she is having coma dreams with an IV bag and pills about her childhood home. Can't tell me I'm wrong, Gibson. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think it's actually a video game that she's playing. No.
Nah.
I definitely think it's, coma dream, flashback, whatever, because she's wearing purple. And that means this is back when she was evil.
Ooh,
Oh my
color theory.
god.
Color theory is so real, guys.
And William's in a purple shirt with his pants way too high up.
Way too high.
What is he
That's
doing?
how you know it. That's how you know it's the 80s or something.
Yeah, so I think this could be a scene either of him trying to get Vanessa to cover up the MCI, Vanessa first like getting suspicious about the MCI, or the police coming to interrogate William. Nice ass house, by the way. Dude definitely owns a very expensive pizza franchise. Look at this place. You got that big ass window. That's how you know it's a good house. He got a nice window.
He's got stairs.
He does have Afton stairs. People were
What?
I don't know. People were
What are
talking-
Afton stairs?
Those
We've
are what-
never
that-
seen.
On the
They're what we
stairs.
looking at. We're looking at the Afton stairs. There's stairs with Afton on them.
I just mean like in the games, even people who believe like Midnight Motorist Afton, like we've never seen an Afton household that has stairs.
Yeah, we've also
This
never seen an
breaks
Afton
the
household with like a
timeline?
kitchen.
He doesn't need to eat. He's purple.
Yeah, people on Twitter were blowing their. I'm not going to finish that sentence. They were going crazy because there is a picture of like an old man on the mantelpiece. So people think it's like Grandpa Afton or something.
Poppy Afton.
Peepaw Afton. Which
I like the little Chica thing that's on the camera.
ready. Here's my take, right? And chat, you can't be mad at me for this. This is just going off of what has been written in the past. Vanessa isn't actually his daughter. It's some girl that he kidnapped, and all of these all of these posters of like grandparents, they're just fabricated memories. Like he got some stock image off of Google and was like, that was your grandpa, don't you remember?
Even
Now-
when she was a little kid and gave her Garrett's plane.
Have you read The Silver Eyes or The Twisted Ones or The Fourth Closet, Gibson?
I've actually read all three.
Then you would know that what I'm saying is unfortunately rather based.
My God, I don't necessarily agree. But that's fine. Unless Vanessa's also like a robot.
Okay, that's not any better. You have like
I think if you go that far with it, then I'll accept anything. If it's just like I've kidnapped a child because I always wanted a child, but I killed the other 5 for some reason.
That's true. But then who did William bust in?
What?
The silence.
Miss Afton, you know.
The silence. That's actually Emma Tammy plays Mrs. Afton. This is their family reunion.
William, I'm back from Hollywood where I'm a director.
I've missed you this much. Look how far apart my hands are. I miss you this much.
Or, I mean, there is the legitimate theory that people do have that Mike's mother is also Vanessa's mother.
Yeah, I've heard
and
that.
She like left William for Henry and then died. And that's why William kidnapped Garrett ? Because all we see is he presents her with his plane. She could have been born after he died and he just held on to the plane. Like, we don't know.
Facts. Why? We don't even know why William drove all the way to Nebraska to kidnap him anyway. Because that was not where they are.
Because the father's Henry. Like, there's no other way that William would drive to a different state to do the kidnapping if the father wasn't Henry, if he wasn't targeting this child on purpose.
Did they say that the dad took his own life or just went missing? I know they say something like either one of the parents took their own life and the other one went missing. They say. They
are very unspecific about whether or not the dad is dead. I think they said that he left.
But what if it's just that the original Fredbear's was in Nebraska and then where's the current location in the movie?
Yeah.
Like Minnesota or something?
Minnesota?
They figured it out. Someone figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
But not Utah.
Yeah,
or Nebraska.
Not Nebraska though. So he booked it out there. He carpooled behind them. Like, God, I can't wait for. I didn't kidnap your brother, Mike. I kidnapped you.
You've been a robot this whole time.
No.
I don't want no robots dating my daughter.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I've generally seen people saying that. Like the reason that William looks at Mike weirdly in the beginning is because he knows that he built him as a robot. It's like, bro.
Oh my God.
At that point, he can just take out a remote and be like, "Stop."
Turn him off.
Which also that was a weird thing they did in the first movie because Vanessa's all like, "I won't be of any use to you if my dad finds out I'm here," and then she is of use to him. So I think when she wakes up, she's gonna be Vanny. I think she's gonna wake up and be evil.
Oh
no, I'm being on God. I'm being on God. I think she's gonna wake up from the coma and be evil Vanessa.
I think that she is and this comes from one of my commenters, so I don't get to claim credit for this, but I think that she's a parallel to Mike from the games. And that her getting stabbed was the sister location moment where now she's like fully aware that her father's evil and what he did. And is like now a good guy. Yes. Like unironically, if William killed the MCI kids with that knife, maybe it's a remnant knife. And while she's in her coma, she's
diseases on it.
She's scarlet fever. She's talking to all the the kids. She's going to be in this house. Yo, what if like Golden Freddy Kid and like Foxy Kid are like next to her in the house and they're like, go upstairs and look in your daddy's room. And she goes up and she opens a drawer and it's like,
box. There's a locked box.
It says faztalker. No, it's the FNaF 4 box, and like open it, and she opens it, and it's like, my name is William. I made the Freddy's, but it's like it's like his confession. It's his confession to that, like she knows like that what he did was evil, but it's actually just Jackie's box.
My name is the fucking mimic. It comes out of there.
That's their one F-bomb
for the PG-13 rating.
Yep.
Granite Falls, Minnesota. That's where it was.
Minnesota.
Gotcha. All right, well then.
Yeah. Remnant knife, that's my theory.
In recent news, and now for my views, Edwin, he made the Mimic. And he released a trailer recently. Edwin just dropped a trailer. Edwin himself. And it's very interesting. Because Gibby, and I'm sure I saw you getting like blitzed on Twitter for a little bit, not a lot,
because people are silly.
Yeah. Well, it was right after the trailer release, and they were like, "Watch Gibby say that Edwin Murray being name dropped doesn't mean anything because of Star Wars." But they did name drop Edwin Murray, so John FNaF's theory that Henry made the mimic is now dead.
Yep. Parallel theory dead.
Unless they made it together. You never know. Hand in hand.
They were like in love, and it was like a high school project, but they were each other's high school sweethearts.
Technically, and I don't believe this, but we have never heard Henry's first or last name in the game's continuity.
Don't go down that road. Don't go. Henry,
I'm just saying
Edwin,
we haven't.
Murray, Emily.
Hedwig. I don't know. HRY 223 has to mean Henry 2023. Can't mean anything else.
Can't mean happy running yapper. That's me.
His real name's Harry.
Harry Edwin. Yeah. Hedwig.
Harry Edwin.
So yes, Harry Edwin. So he
wouldn't it be Harry Murray?
Harry Murray. He is a guy, and he made the mimic.
Yeah.
Who did he make it for? We don't know, because the trailer says he made it for Fazbear.
Which is
the
not
books
true
say
in
he
the
didn't
books,
make it for Fazbear.
The books say he made it, and Fazbear shouldn't even know about it.
Yeah.
And in fact, they don't, because I read, and I would know this because I read the story like 2 weeks ago for a upload.
Did you read it? Did you read it out loud in the form that people can go and listen to it if they haven't read the story before themselves? I
certainly did do that.
Oh my god! On your channel, on T-Dread's channel,
T-Dread's channel. Link in description. But no, and the first team that goes there, they don't even tell them. They just say like, oh yeah, Edwin, he was making stuff for us. Go get it. That's the only directions they gave. And so the guy that is sent there just assumes the mimic is something that was being made, but it wasn't. They just wanted him to get Chica or whatever. But in this, Ron, that's what people think the voice is. Hand Unit's voice actor essentially says like, we know what the mimic does. Now give us the fucking mimic. Oh yeah. And that is not what happens at all in the story. So that's the first thing. Second thing, in the story, there is no Murray costume manor. And third thing, in the story, Edwin Murray is not a contractor. He is owned by Fazbear Entertainment. He sells his company to them.
He is?
Yes.
I own you.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I thought that in the story he was like he had his own company and then he made his own stuff and he just did like stuff for Fazbear on the side.
He sold his company to Fazbear Entertainment.
Oh. So this, watching the trailer, it's kind of implied that like he works for Fazbear occasionally, and so some of the stuff is theirs. But then like the bumblebee and the dog poodle thing, like that's just him working for other companies because he's a contractor.
Yes. But that's the thing that annoys me though, because that is a subtle difference from the story. In the story, it's implied that Murray Manufacturing or whatever it's called, he sold that company to Fazbear Entertainment. That is now property of Fazbear Entertainment. So he works for them. He's employed by Fazbear Entertainment. But in this game, that's not the case. It was just, oh, he had a factory. We paid him to make some stuff, which is a difference, not a huge one. But that would imply that Tails can't be canon because a direct thing that's stated there is contradicted.
That's kind of one of the reasons I don't really talk about this is just because I haven't read those stories deeply yet. But I think that was one of ID Fantasy's points where she was like, in the books, he doesn't make costumes, he makes endos. And then in the games, he's only making costumes. And in the books, he doesn't have any really other employees. And then in the game, it's a full factory with other people.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much stuff that we are seeing that's different that it's like it could be books canon, but there's just like a lot of stuff you have to assume between those 2 points.
And in the book, the factory is in complete disrepair, even while Edwin is alive. He basically lives in a giant moldy shed, and so it would be even worse after he leaves. Sorry, I meant while David is still alive. Sorry, it'd be even worse after Edwin leaves, which is weird because you get there in this game. And it's really like up to code. It doesn't look like any health violations are happening. It's very strange.
He's got multiple robots, like the male robot guy the postal robot.
Yeah, which I don't.
He's
I don't
got
think
staff
that was in
bots.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I
Music
could,
Man,
I
giant
could
music man with
see.
what
I
the
could
heck?
see Edwin building a bunch of things to work for him, but that's never said in the actual book. We're going the reverse of the problem we originally had. Now things in the game are showing things that happened in the books that the books never told us. We got the reverse problem from usual. Okay. Other
So,
weird things.
well,
All right, go ahead.
I would just say I have made my stance clear on my channel that I have no opinion. I think that there's a lot of things that contradict. I think there's a lot of things that show, and so I don't have any stance about whether or not the books or games canon up until this point. But what's your current stance?
Yeah, Scott will never confirm one way or another. The people saying that there's going to be a secret and Scott's going to come on screen at the end and say, this really was a Tales games, wasn't it? No, he's never going to confirm whether or not Tales games is canon. That debate will never be answered. Scott doesn't do that. He doesn't do like a debate this big. I don't think he would ever address.
But why? Like, if it's never contradicted, then they're canon. If they are contradicted, then they're not canon.
FNaF 3 ending or Sister Location suit. No one gives a shit about those. But
Sister Location,
you won't answer them.
The one ending in Sister Location says fake ending, right? So like that's properly labeled.
No, I'm talking about like debates. Scott never answers debate because he's afraid to upset anyone.
I disagree. I think he said that like he tries to clear up things, in future titles. I don't think he would ever be like, oh man, I can't clear this up because then the community will be mad.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's had a lot of years to clear some things up that people have been really, really debating, and he just doesn't.
I think it's sort of
mic trap, right?
Yes.
Well, because that was integral. That was integral to the story even functioning. Was knowing that Mike wasn't Springtrap. Tales games
and
isn't.
He cleared up the game dev thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you could just say like, and I say this to Gibby, if Tales games isn't true, the events that happen are so close to 1-to-1 that it might as well be. So it doesn't matter. In the long run, right now, it doesn't even matter if Tales games is true or not.
Yeah.
They're basically the same shit happens either way.
Which is why that's the correct answer and what he should tell people, which is if you want to know what happened, it's the books. But we're not tied down to that. And if they're contradicted in the future, it's because they were never intended to be the real canon.
Yeah.
Which is how every other franchise does it. Hi, I'm Star Wars. Read these comics. This is what happens. And then 10 years later, someone's like, actually, my TV show, I want this to not happen. So now my TV show is right. And your comic book is wrong.
Five Nights at Freddy's and its genius author, Scott Cawthon, exist in a nebulous zone away from all other media where only his 5 trillion IQ brain can make writing decisions.
I've actually, so like in my first video talking about like different franchises and stuff, I'm like, unless you think that for some reason FNaF is different than these other franchises, and if you do think that, please like explain to me why. But like, that's why I'm convinced. And I've gotten comments and seen people on Twitter being like, oh, Gibby doesn't understand that FNaF is different. I'm like, but how? Why is it different? Is Scott just really that smart?
Yeah, he's a genius.
The greatest writer on earth. I get that, but greatest planner on earth? I'm not so sure.
All right, and then later in the trailer, yeah, we get Music Man. We get a bunch of stuff that Edwin made. First of all, Music Man, how? I think it's ginormous.
1979, we just had those giant spider music boxes running around. I know that you weren't there. You're a little too young to remember that. But no, that was real. That was an epidemic at the time.
They all escaped from Murray's Music Man Factory Manor.
Yeah,
that was his startup. Was Music Man Factory Man.
Music Man might be like a not a crane, but he's got very crane-like parts. If you see the part where he breaks through the roof, and so I wonder if maybe he was something built to help with like assembly of stuff.
I thought it was something meant to like demolish things. I thought it had a grinder in its mouth, but it's actually one of those really old music box systems.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I thought it was like those little nubs. I don't know what to call them. On like
a big grinder that destroys each cars.
Like the metal roller. Yeah.
Car mouth.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, but it's just not. It's a giant music box.
And then its ears are the little projection horns. That's cute.
And he's got the mustache. Which then again adds to the idea that Edwin had employees here, because I don't see that dude going and building that thing like Tony Stark. Just walking around, just hammering it for like months.
Being an employee at Costume Manor. That's crazy.
Yeah. Imagine have to tell someone that on a first date.
Yeah, he's got like a little grabby arm.
I work at the Murray Costume Manor. You should see my mushroom. Wait.
Oh my god.
That's not what I meant. Speaking of which, yeah, and I also saw people like, in the book, the mushroom was white, but now it's blue. Checkmate, Tails Games. And then Tails Games people were like, colors don't matter. And then, yeah, some people were like, it's a different mushroom. It's just a mess. And it's going to continue to be a mess for you. The game's not going to solve anything. Mark my words.
I do not think this game will solve anything. I think it's possible that a security breach 2 could. Possible.
Also, the mimic comes from the field in the books, in case you didn't know.
Like the field?
Yep.
The 0 point field?
No, yeah, it literally says like, as Edwin built the mimic, it felt like something outside his control was compelling him to do so.
Yes.
The ideas for the mimic's design just came to him. He had no blueprints. He let the universe guide him, and he created them, or some stupid shit like that. So it's literally
unironically,
the mimic.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love the field. I love the field because it's so stupid. It's like any author writing anything will occasionally just need to be like, and it works this way because of the way that it is.
Yeah, I was looking at my comments, and one of my commenters was like, actually, T-Dreads, if you pay attention, because it was on the Mimic audiobook, which you guys can watch now, like in the description. And one of the guys was literally like, the Mimic actually comes from the field, like how it's described. And I looked at it and I was like, oh no, he's right.
Yeah, it's actually, I think, a good use of like the fact that sometimes you just have to have characters do things because they need to say like, actually, it's the 0 point field. And so the reason that this character has to act stupid for the plot to happen is because some unseen force needs to have the plot happen.
Which in the games is God Victim. He is the field.
God Victim. Or it's just William or Andrew or something.
Which Unwithered Truth and I are going to make a video on God Victim. It'd be fun.
God Victim's great. I think that there should be a, it might end up being like the difference between like, like Frights fiction and books, right? Like really the only difference is like a very small disambiguation. But like books is a goated theory.
That's Silver Eyes or books in the.
It's basically that everything is so like Frights fiction is like Fazbear Frights, the corporate entity, released the Frights fictions books as in-universes novels in order to like, distract people from the real crimes in the past. Books is just like they're in-universe books, but I'm not making the claim that Fazbear Entertainment is the one who wrote them. They're just books.
I see.
I want like Bookception where it's like Fazbear Frights is the in-universe books, but the universe that they're books in is the Silver Eyes, which are books in the Tales from the Piece of
That's bro. That's crazy. That's wild. And then the logbook is in its own universe, separate from everything else.
The week before is still canon.
The week before is canon. But yeah. The Silver Eyes are an in-universe book, and within the Silver Eyes, they can read the Frights books. Oh my god. But yeah, no, like I ironically, I believe a version of God Victim, but I wouldn't like, like your guys' theory, what you're going to come to is probably going to be slightly different than my own interpretation. Yeah. But like, it makes it's opposite dream theory. It's not.
Yeah.
Bite Victim dreamed these things because he saw them in real life. So no. Bite Victim saw these in real life, and so he made them happen using his ultimate agony powers.
I like that more than dream theory. That's cooler, yeah. I will say, I heard people in this trailer, because we play as an employee, people think that we play as Henry, and I disagree.
We play as William, duh.
I also don't think we play as William. I do not think that Tesla would send Elon Musk to do any dangerous work.
It's a good point. I think we're getting shoved in the Mexus at the end, and I'm standing by it.
I think we're just a random guy. I think we're just an employee.
We will be just a random employee until it's revealed at the end that we're actually Mexus and that you've been stuck in the security breach bottom the whole time. And
my
then,
first name,
now you're important.
Cassie's. My last name, Dad.
Or his initial, because like, no, we haven't figured out what Mexus means yet. Which I would love to. That's one of the things that we should have like one of these big long streams for is like just absolutely figure out Mexus because it's solvable. It's clearly solvable.
I think we'll see it. I think this game will tell us what it is.
Well, either way, what if our name is
Michael Xavier?
Yeah, Xavier.
Speaking of Mexus, do we? Speaking of Mexus, do we think that the white van at the beginning is the same white van, or is it just a red herring?
I think a different white van.
It could be the same one. Like we at the end of the game, we shove Mexus into the back, and then we dip on out of there or something. It could just because I'm sure that the van that it was didn't say company name on the front in the canon events, but it's hard. It's hard. It's just weird that the opening shot of that trailer is a van.
Well, it's a van. It's a parallel. It's a van driving in front of Edwin's house. Like when you see van driving through Edwin's house,
there is a car.
There is a car,
oh boy,
which is really a van.
I hope we get to see it. I hope we get to see.
I know. I hope we
see David, and I want him to get flung across the road with ragdoll physics.
Oh my gosh!
And as he flies away, I want to hear him go, like, no, Very exaggerated.
They're just going to hit me. Like they just pay to have that soundbite from the Jackie's Box song.
And the like slowly fades out as he flies away.
This isn't lore, but I just need to note for like the fourth time the absolute canyon-sized pothole this thing hits at the beginning of the trailer. That thing is huge. The end.
Yeah, I don't know why that pothole is so big. It must be
supposed to remind
relevant.
us of a bloodstain.
When he was running out on the road and there was a car.
It's that he actually survived because he actually fell perfectly into the pothole and the car drove over him.
Dude, I've seen people say that David himself possesses the mimic, and I'm like, no, please stop.
David is Mexus.
Ooh.
That'll be weird. I think David is dead.
well, David is the van because you can possess vans.
I mean, I'm sure you can. They got like wires in them. You can possess the radio.
Transformers. That's not what Transformers are.
The joy of creative service. Why do Fazbear Entertainment want the mimic? Is it actually just for cost-cutting measures so they don't need to program endoskeletons? Or do you think that William is like, I know there's something mimicky about this. I need to find it.
Well, we know that the original teaser trailer said 79, but I don't think it's been confirmed that that's when the game actually takes place. If it is, then that really throws like what William's motivations would be into a big question, because like no one's died yet.
Yeah.
So why would he be like, I want to...
Unless it was Andrew, the secret first victim.
Oh my god.
That's why there's a gator.
If this ends up all being an elaborate Andrew backstory, then I'll accept it. That's fine.
I don't think it takes place in 79. I think that's probably when the factory was abandoned, just from what the computer looks like. Is my best guess.
The computer?
Well, you figured out that Atari...
Oh, yeah.
The helper one. Tell them what you figured out with Atari.
Oh, yeah. It was that. Well, was it that Atari made the Atari 400 and 600 personal computer? Or was it 400 and 800? I forget now. Personal computers in 1979. And Gibby's got the whole video game,
arcade,
Faztari. Because, I don't know, like everything in this game is tying into the things the security breach and ruin. So it's like, oh, you see the staff bots? Edwin made the staff bots. You see everything's running on the Mimic? Edwin made the Mimic. You see the Faz wrench? Edwin made the Faz wrench. But back then it was called the Data Diver.
And so all
and stuff like that. So I think he made it. And you just pick it up at the beginning.
All the Pizzaplex stuff is just shoplifted Edwin merch.
Yes. Stolen intellectual property from a dead contractor.
Which is funny.
Next of kin got hit by a car.
Which is hilarious because Edwin is there. Edwin's in the Pizzaplex at one point. He works for them. when he's like really
Yeah,
old.
years later.
Yeah, so that's funny as fuck. You think he'd be like, I made this when I was 16. Or some shit.
You'd be like, my name
cave.
is Edwin. I made the
With a box of scraps.
Which also is not unrealistic because Edwin is, I think he's only 24 years old when David is like 3. So.
Well, wasn't there, I remember when the books were coming out, people were freaking out about like, how old is he? Because no one can agree on when Security Breach takes place, because no one can agree on when like FNaF 6 takes place. And so like we don't technically know how old he was.
Security Breach is at least 2021 or later.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if though the data diver is actually going to be the equivalent of the doohickey in every video game that you have that pulls up like your inventory and the screen and stuff like that. Because it's like it's got a little speaker looking thing on it. It's got a little screen on it. Like I wonder if
Well, I wonder what helper is supposed to do.
I wonder what it stands for. I love an acronym.
Henry Edwin Leith Pierre.
Oh my God.
Henry Edwin Leith Pierre.
You had me, and then
Entertainment reprise.
my God. Let's ask ChatGPT.
Henry
That was me doing you.
I asked ChatGPT.
I asked ChatGPT why Golden Freddy was yellow.
Yeah, so it looks like we got a little check mark. So I'm looking at the Faz data thing.
Data diver.
Data diver. Looks like a little check mark. Little shield. The waymarker point that we saw on one of the pads, or like the thing that opened the door in the beginning of the trailer. Wi-Fi signal, although it could also be some sort of like radar. Like, oh, there's a thing in front of you. Oop, it's behind you now. Stairs, and then a star.
Oh, and the tiny thing at the top is helper. The little thing.
Oh my God, you're so right. It is.
Bad.
I haven't seen that yet.
There's like a little helpy guy. I'm not
little
looking
helper
at the
guy
image
at
right
the
now.
top. Yeah,
It's literally the exact same thing that appears on the screen.
On the
just
screen.
Tiny,
Okay,
tiny.
cool. So what's in there? So they already have sophisticated like troubleshooting AI. No, this shit did not exist in the 70s. I'm sorry. This has to be at least.
Yeah, neither did the Funtime animatronics.
But William Afton, he's cool, I guess. Also, Helpy still has the rosy cheeks, which has me worried that like either the Funtimes already exist, which would make no fucking sense, or
I think the little poodle thing.
It's been retconned so that the Funtime animatronics are based on Helpy.
In the beginning of the trailer, you walk by this little poodle thing that kind of looks like Funtime Foxy.
The name is Sharpay.
Yeah.
I think the nurse has rosy cheeks too.
And a split, and she's a split down the carnival nurse has a split down the face.
It's on the front though, right? Yeah.
Which also carnival nurse. Are we actually saying that like Edwin programmed a robot in the 70s capable of advanced medical surgery? Like, bro, come on now.
And is she the?
How is he broke?
Is she the voice from the Helpy nurse segment in?
That's what people think.
Call it?
That's the theory that I've heard.
That's
which would also make sense because it's Helpy, and so they were around at the same time. My name is Edwin.
I made the nurse bot because
I really hope like at the end of the game the factory doors swing wide open and there's a silhouette in like a fedora.
Coat,
yeah. And our character goes, "Who are you?" And there's like suspenseful music, and the game ends with some guy going, "My name is Edwin. I made the mimic." And it just boom, cut to black.
Helper. Terminal 0. Hold on. I need to make this. It says terminal 000 whatever. Does it ever move? I'm looking at the trailer if you guys aren't.
Likewise.
Yeah, okay. So it says just terminal 0.00. So I'm guessing that number will change, and at some other point we'll be looking at other terminals.
I'm sure.
Maybe we're like currently we have 0 upgrades.
Yeah, we've seen
helper.
We've seen 2, so that is not the same one I think that you see in the beginning shot with the office thing, but that also has like the little Faz wrench insertion.
So it says
data diver. Data diver.
Data dater. So it says missing executive access, and there's a little star there. And if you rewind and you look at what's on the wrench, there's a little star there. So we might have to collect stars to gain access to higher level terminals.
OMG stars?
Oh no, not stars. Like on
They've been present since the beginning, I hear. Yeah.
What do we think about the
Oh, and-
asterisks missing executive access?
I mean,
whose
I
name
think
is
that's our
Matt?
name. I think that's our name.
Asterisks are literally stars. I'm just saying.
Our last name is Mexis.
Yeah,
That would be funny.
it
Yeah,
doesn't fit. Assuming it's first name then last name, it doesn't fit anyone that we are aware of.
That's the thing, though. If it is
Um,
someone's name, I don't see why it would be a name of someone we've never seen.
I agree.
Unless it's Ron. It's like Ronald John or something.
Ronald doesn't fit.
Ronald.
Hmm.
Ronald.
Ronald with an H.
You said it would fit Schmidt Mike, but that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
stupid.
he would be
But that
like
is the first
he'd
thing
be,
anyone
he'd be
thought.
like 11.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be Mike. It'd be Michael. Father, that's me, Michael.
My name is Michael Schmidt. I took a Michael shit.
How? Never mind.
When I legally changed my name from Michael Afton to Mike Schmidt, I legally made it Mike, like on purpose.
Because I hate you. All right. Any closing thoughts on any of the teasers we have discussed?
I think that teasers are made by parts of companies that exist to make teasers, and that little Jimmy, who works at Steel Wool, who like makes the game and inserts his little sticky note lore, has absolutely no say on the teaser trailer. And the guy making the teaser trailer has absolutely no idea what the script of the actual game is. And so all this stuff that we're looking at, and we're like, what's the deep lore of what we're being shown? There's absolutely no communication between the guys making the lore and the guy making the trailer. And so likewise with the faztalker, just because it's the one thing that we saw from the movie does not mean that it's like the main MacGuffin of the movie.
It's
It
important at
might
all.
just be a thing. And that this is all we have, and it's to make us go insane, and it's to make us make really long videos discussing them, and it could end up being totally meaningless.
And there are my dogs, so that is my cue to cut us off. There they go. Well, thank you guys for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You don't get to be special guests next time. Next time you're just regular, I think. I think you've earned
Next
it.
time we're
Oh,
regulars.
what?
Yes,
Thank you very
pay
much,
raise,
yeah.
right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay! And only 8 more till I get a free cake pop.
I'll upgrade you both. I'll put little crowns on both of your profile pictures.
Like a Victory Royale grounds.
Yeah. And you
Fortnite,
guys can
yeah,
both have
okay.
golden scars. I know what Fortnite is. I'm hip with the kids.
Yes.
All right, guys, make sure you watch every single one of my videos 20 times.
In this, at the same time, different tabs.
And make sure you click on all of Gibby's videos and then click off within 30 seconds. Thank you. Don't do that. Don't do that. It makes great stuff. And so does Candy.
Word.
But I'm going to shout out your video on like FNaF and Justice. That was good.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you slipped in a reference to my hit song I saw. So,
Who doesn't? Yeah.
chat, comment
you
14.
releasing that, by the way?
If I need to
Yep.
drop the, if
What's
I
the
need to
song?
drop the Andrew single. I need to get at least 14 comments that say release the 14. And then you could have it.
Okay. If you guys leave comments, he'll release it before Secret of the Mimic comes out.
True.
Say, we want the Andrew single.
We have 3 verses already. I might do more. I might not. Well, we'll see. I was waiting on. Actually, I'm not going to spoil that because it might still happen.
Waiting on a surprise.
Yeah, waiting on a surprise
guest,
cameo
maybe.
in my song. All right. I'll see you everybody later. I miss all of you
Bye.
except Cry Night if you're watching.